This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm in the announcement press conference with James DeGALE, Chris EUBANK Jr., February 23rd at the O2, joined by Jimmy Mac Jr. and Tom McDONNELL. How was your Christmas, boys?
Blinding, mate.
Nice,
Didn't stop eating.
Didn't stop eating?
Didn't stop eating.
I saw you partying enough, so...
No, weren't me. But do you know what? I love Christmas, but so I'm glad it's done now, but no, it's back to reality, innit?
Well, new year and a huge fight announced already. ITV box office, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get straight into it. A lot of people are suggesting James might be over the hill. I know he got that win over Truex in the end, but firstly, what do you say to people saying that?
I just say just tune in on the 23rd of Feb and watch it unfold.
No?
Because here we go. We've got a trap door going down there.
Mate, there's no one
EUBANK. The old man.
Yeah, basically, I just think people are going to look into it, aren't they? But all will be revealed on the 23rd of Feb because it's not long away, 7 weeks away. So everyone tune in and watch it.
Yeah, Tom.
Do you know what? When you say what people say, like, you actually can't blame them. Like, James would be the first to say, "Oh, what is the old governor?" No, but James would be the first one to say that because if you look at the fights with DeGALE, Boutte, blah blah blah, Badu Jack, even though even the performances was there, all of a sudden the first Truex fight was so bad, yeah, and James even said that. The second one was he won, but he wasn't.
It still wasn't.
He wasn't James, yeah, but he had to take that fight because Truex was going to get mandated. So that was the last week that they could box before he got mandated, so he had to take the rematch. So it was a rush, but he got the win. We move on, and now everyone will see.
Of course. See, there are fighters, for example, I'll give you an example of Billy Joe Saunders, Tyson Fury. They lower their game when the opponents get, sort of drops, and they raise their game. For example, Klitschko, Wilder, Billy Joe with...
Akavov and...
Exactly, and then Lemieux when he was on fire.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the same with Chunky?
100%.
Do you know what? I think Eddie earned it spot on when he said a few years ago, he said James DeGale's a buzz fighter. If James is boxing in a shopping centre with no one watching and no one knows who the opponent is, he's like, you've got to remember, he's boxed at the biggest show on earth. He's been at the Olympic Games. He won an Olympic gold medal. He's boxed in football stadiums and
Vegas.
Vegas, this one he's right up for. As you can see, they don't like each other. It is a bit of a grudge match, and if this don't get his juices flowing, then that's it. Like, what's the point? Do you know what I'm saying? But you will see the best of James in this fight, definitely.
Well, we hope so. People are criticising the fact it's on pay-per-view as well. People wanted it obviously on free-to-air.
Yeah.
What do you sort of say to that?
I just think for the fights to happen and for the purses that these boys, deserve, it has to be on pay-per-view. Whether people, criticise it or not, if they was in their shoes, their position, they'd be saying the same things as well. It's the way the boxing world works now, and these big fights for them to happen, the pay-per-view platform is the only way to generate the money for these fights.
I get that, but obviously there is no world title on the line. DeGale's had that loss to Truex, EUBANK Jr.'s had that loss to George Groves. So can you see people's arguments, perhaps?
I can, but then you go to Hayan Bellew, that was for no belt, and it was a big fight, and everyone, I don't know whether people was moaning, but people tuned in for it. I think people were intrigued because of the whole, he schooled him in sparring sort of rumours going around.
It goes back quite a long way, didn't it?
Yeah, so I think because of, again, like the history
for a long
and,
time.
Chris EUBANK's his dad and the history, and James is two-time world champion, Olympic gold medalist, blah, blah, blah. It's a big fight. It's got all the ingredients to be a massive fight.
Definitely. Who do you like less, Groves or EUBANK?
Who?
Chunky.
James?
Chunky, yeah.
I think the history's with George Groves because of the whole thing.
Oh, it's a hard one though.
I just you know what? I just think
I'll tell you what. I think he dislikes them both quite similar, but I think he respects George Groves more. So by that, I think he's always said, but he doesn't like Groves, but he goes, oh, he's a good fighter or whatever, like with what he's achieved and stuff. Whereas I think he looks at EUBANK as more, if his name was Joe Smith from Doncaster, would he be given and be on the platform what he has with what he's achieved, etc.? Probably not. So I think he respects Groves more, but he dislikes them both as much as each other.
Of course, every time we've seen EUBANK step up a level, Billy Joe Saunders, George Groves, he hasn't hit the mark. Do you think it'll be the same case with Chunky?
Yeah, he's going to get a hat-trick. He's going to get a hat-trick. He's going to get stepped up again. And he's going to just be shown levels, that there is levels to this game. And every time he's been stepped up to world level, Billy Joe Saunders, George Groves, now James DeGALE, he'll come up short.
The only reason he's taking this fight is because he thinks James is finished. Like a lot of people do. Really, a lot of people do. If James had boxed in the Truax fights, how he boxed against, I don't know, Butte, etc., this fight wouldn't be happening. He's taking the fight because he thinks he's getting James at the right time. So, we'll see.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't ask James this because his focus has obviously got to be on EUBANK Junior. But if he is successful on the 23rd,
When?
George Groves, when? Okay. I like that. We don't know what's going on with George Groves, but potential rematch down the line with him. Interesting.
I think it's always going to be there because of the history thing of, and because the fights have been, you know, split decisions, and James feels he won, George feels he won. They've always been back and forward like their whole careers. Every time George Groves' name gets mentioned, James's name pops up, and vice versa. When you walk down the road, people go, "Oh, when's he fighting Groves?" And I bet Groves gets that as well. When are you going to fight James again? So the fight's always there. His focus is obviously on the 23rd of Feb of EUBANK Junior. Should he come through that successfully, which we expect him to, then I think the George Groves rematch is a massive fight.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Massively,
Listen, that fight's always been spoken about, and it's always been there. So it does make sense. But as you said, we've got a fight before then, so it don't mean nothing if you don't come through successful, does it? So
of course,
one fight at a time.
All right, two more things. Just a word on Reece Bellotti. How is he after his defeat the other night?
Yeah, he's all right. He just feels that. He said that when I was in there, he just said, I just wish I'd have started a little bit quicker. Like he said, I've sort of got to the 6th round mark and then thought, well, I'll try and push on now. Again, that's experience. Like
First time he went 12 rounds.
first time he's ever done 12 rounds.
It's a good Ryan Walsh as well.
He got in the change rooms afterwards, and
Brilliant
he said, I feel like I could go on the pads for 4 or 5 rounds. He said, I should be here and feel.
Again, it's experience, isn't it? He's had 14 fights, 15 fights, whatever. Ryan's had double the fights of Reece Bellotti. He's been there for years now. British, I think it was his
seventh British title
fight,
fight, 5th defence.
Good fight, man.
Yeah.
Good fight.
Well, he's well level, isn't he? Ryan Walsh, I think.
I think he's boxed for a European, so he's on that. He's
sort
on
of
that
big
level.
fringe, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, he's a good fighter. Respect to Ryan Walsh.
Okay, and just lastly, Chris Congo, obviously not a
Yes.
new addition, but recent.
Yeah.
I just did an
He's
interview.
here now.
Yeah, I know. I
He's
just
here
did an
now.
interview with him, and he's calling out Frankie Gavin. He says, "Are you ready?" Because he is.
I think with Chris, I think he's at a stage of his career where
Just want the opportunity.
he wants the opportunity now. Like he's good enough to be on these big shows, and these small shows ain't doing it. But listen, they're getting him out, but Chris wants to go out. He wants to win titles. So he said, I'm just not going to sit back and not say nothing no more. If I need to open my mouth and call people out to get out there, then that's what I'm going to do. But I'm expecting a big year for Chris Congo this year, 2019.
So the Johnny Garton fight as well there for the British title.
Massive fight, British fight.
Take that fight this year.
Yeah, he's ready now. Funny enough, he's been sparring with James, so he's not worried about jumping in with welterweights if he's sparring super middleweights. Yeah, so he's ready. He's ready now.
Could possibly box on the undercard as well on the O2 show.
Possibly. I'm guessing it's all up for. Yeah, it's all open out there.
Down and
They're
sort
just
something
talking
out,
about it now. Yeah, so
can't see why not.
All right, boys. Thank you for your time. Just actually last one. I know you're good at your impressions. You got a Chris Eubank senior impression or not?
Oh,
you got that in the locker.
I got it in the locker. My son is a warrior, and on the 23rd of Feb, I'm going to try and dethrone James DeGALE. That's pretty much all I can do. I can't do.
That was decent. To be fair, Eddie Hearns is much better.
He's much better.
Class.
He's the king of them.
Smash.
He's the king of them.
He's got it on smash.
All right, boys. Well, I know we've
got a train spotter there. Look.
No, you should get Hearns to do an interview of a conversation of Eubank and my old man about the fight.
That would do so many views.
That's the one for the numbers.
James 15-minute fight.
Yeah, do that. Get him to do my old man and Eubank Senior having a debate about the fight.
When your old man watches Hearn doing that, what's his reaction?
He just laughs.
Yeah. Finds it hilarious. I can see why people would take it the wrong way.
I don't think Senior takes it well.
Oh no, he's got to do it. It's all banter, isn't it?
Of course.
It's only banter.
Richard Schaefer, he doesn't like it. Have you seen his popcorn one?
I've seen it. Yeah, it's
like,
brilliant.
Americans' humour to ours is very, very different, isn't it?
But it's all part of it. I think, again, when you've put them videos out there now, I bet your views just go through the roof.
Yeah,
it does good views. So it makes sense for your channel, doesn't it?
Of course it does. Who cares what
Get
the
him on
Americans
it.
think?
Get him on it. Get him on it.
All right, boys. Well, listen, I know we're into the new year, but happy new year anyways,
Top man,
and
bro.
we'll catch up soon. Sure.
Top man.